Your boy is back. Arsenal have won and with a bang. In a tough away game against European heritage, Arteta's young gun passed a massive test. But what was the reason behind Arsenal's success? How did Mikel Arteta use Takehiro Tomiyasu? What is happening with Martin Odegaard? And where was Thomas Partey? As per, let's break it all down and discuss the 5 things we learned from Sevilla 1, Arsenal 2. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Gabriels14 and welcome back to your boy's channel. It has been a while and there's a reason behind that. The content I try to provide to you guys has to be of the highest caliber because that's what you guys deserve. At times that can be mentally draining and that's why I thought it was time to take a pause. Now we are back though, so smash a like on the video if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy as we are still on the road to 200,000 subscribers. We're starting off with Martinelli's Destiny. In his first start ever in the Champions League, Gabriel Martinelli made a statement. An 8.1 overall performance. In 89 minutes it was 1 goal scored, with 2 shots on target, 3 successful dribbles, 31 accurate passes, 4 key passes and 1 big chance created. Following in the footsteps of Bukayo Saka scoring on his Champions League debut. Let's just say that's not a coincidence. As you can see here, Gabriel Martinelli has now scored in his first starts in the Champions League, Europa League, Premier League and the League Cup. Some players are built for the biggest stage and Gabriel Martinelli is one of those. It's in those big moments where he starts to elevate. He demands for the ball, he tries to make things happen. He offers also something very important: electric speed in behind. Go back to the game against Lens. When you've got Leandro Trossard there who doesn't have the same dynamic pace, Arsenal weren't able to stretch the pitch. With Martinelli, Arsenal have the ability to transition, ask the opposition more dangerous questions. These stats here sum it all up. Martinelli was clearly the best out of all the players on the pitch in terms of progression via carrying. There's another reason why Martinelli stands out. With 9 ball recoveries in total, the highest out of any outfield player. This guy is just as good off the ball as he is on the ball. The best is yet to come. Just imagine now in the knockout stages. This is Martinelli's time to announce himself to the world. There's also someone else that we have to talk about. Arsenal's Brazilian Champions League gunman, Gabriel Jesus, was on fire. An 8.5 rating, the highest out of any Arsenal player. The heat map sums him up as a player, unpredictable and everywhere. In 81 minutes, it was 1 goal and 1 assist, with 2 shots on target, 22 accurate passes, 3 key passes, and 2 big chances created. Gabriel Jesus has now scored 14 goals in his last 17 starts in the Champions League. I think there's a reason why Jesus thrives so much in this competition. It all comes down to his character. Jesus is clearly a player that thrives when he's having fun, able to entertain and cause chaos. The prime example was his Arsenal assist. A lovely turn at the halfway line, turning a world-class defender like Sergio Ramos. When Jesus is able to entertain, he's able to grow in confidence. What then happens is he becomes more decisive. The example of course being the goal. Look at the way he smashed the ball into the back of the net. That, my friends, is what you call clinical. This is Gabriel Jesus at his best. Not overthinking stuff. Playing football like he's in the streets. In the 44 games with him, Arsenal have won more games, scored more goals, averaged higher goals per game and also a higher win rate. But what is happening with this injury? Taken off in the 81st minute holding his hamstring. After the game, Jesus says, "I felt something, let's see. I did some tests with the physio. I have a scan maybe tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it'll be nothing." I also want to have a conversation about a certain Eddie Nketiah. Off the Arsenal bench, a 6.4 rating in 9 minutes played. 2 out of 2 passes and 4 touches. 0 out of 3 ground balls won. Right at the end of the game when Sevilla are pressuring Arsenal needed their forwards to be outlets, hold the ball off the pitch and relieve the pressure. Eddie was not offering Arsenal composure. Every time he got the ball it was too rash and it was too indecisive. It feels like as a striker he's become a bit stiff. This is where Mikel Arteta will be looking to the future, especially in the knockout stages. Arsenal look to use their bench wisely. The likes of Nketiah, Trossard and Havertz need to offer a little bit more. There needs to be more energy. Moving on to the second thing, character building. In many ways this game was the perfect experience. Sevilla have a lot of European heritage. The Europa League record speaks for itself. That's why Arsenal had to be mature. Have a look at these stats here. Even though Sevilla had more possession, more passes completed, and more final third entries, Arsenal had a higher expected threat created. That means that Arsenal were able to attack better. The XG sums it up. Sevilla 0.86, Arsenal 2.35. The reason behind this is obvious. Unlike in the Premier League, Arsenal weren't facing a deep block. Sevilla are a progressive team that wants to get on the front foot, and that means space in behind. When you've got the likes of Saka, Martinelli and Jesus, that is music to the ears. As Sergio Ramos says, "I think that at the end we played face to face with both Real Madrid and Arsenal. It's true that it is not difficult to see a difference before we play the teams that for me currently play the best in Europe." Ramos has given Arsenal massive praise, saying playing face to face with this type of team and knowing that they can create from the back and want to create by playing football from the goalkeeper's kick it is not easy. Arsenal are a team that wants to play football. This is the impact of Champions League football. Playing in front of the eyes of all of Europe, Arsenal will soon receive a different level of respect. There's also another stat that we have to focus on. That, my friends, is our beloved field tills. Now in this game, Arsenal came out narrowly on top, 51% in total. As you can see, up until the 70th minute, Arsenal were in control, but focused on the Sevilla pressure after that. This was Arsenal's perfect learning curve. Backs against the wall in a tough European away ground. Let's focus on the performance of Gabriels Destiny. With a 6.6 overall rating, a colossal 3 clearances out of the back, 1 interception and 1 tackle, 0 times dribbled past. Arsenal have an elite defensive left hand side. Tomiyasu, Rice and Gabriels Destiny. Arteta has built a team full of physical machines, fantastic at winning their 1v1 duels. This game showed how Arsenal can change things up. Control isn't always about being on the ball. You also have to be able to fight it out. Stand strong with your backs against the wall. This was the first example of Arsenal turning to their elite low block. Why that's so important is because of experience. With a lot of these Arsenal players new to the Champions League, this game was the perfect opportunity to learn. Thriving in a tough atmosphere, full of European heritage, and coming out with 3 points in the bank. This is how you build confidence. As Arsenal legend Thierry Henry says, away from home there's something that is called all-round play, and that also comes in when you talk about players. If you want to compare to the Man United game, it's way more difficult to play Sevilla away than Copenhagen at home. You have to give Arsenal a lot of credit for winning a game away from home, in Europe especially against Sevilla. Moving on to the third thing, Arsenal's secret weapon. Dropping Alexander Zinchenko was always a bold move, but Mikel Arteta had a clear idea. It was time to turn to our Swiss Army knife, the hidden gem of Takehiro Tomiyasu, awarded the official player of the match award. In terms of the stats, it was a 6.8 rating, with 1 ground duel won, 27 accurate passes and 2 accurate long balls. I want to focus on this heat map here. It shows Tomiyasu playing in 2 different zones, not only as an orthodox left back, but more importantly going forwards. The reason why Tomiyasu was so impressive for me was his passing. Crisp and accurate breaking the lines. Tomiyasu was able to replicate dynamics. Playing as the Arsenal left back requires a unique profile, where Tomiyasu is clearly improving his receiving. He's far more comfortable at collecting the ball and firing it first time. That makes Arsenal play faster. It's all about getting the ball to our dangerous players as soon as possible. The whole idea is to make Arsenal impenetrable. When you've got the defensive work of Ben White and Tomiyasu fighting on each side of the pitch, Arsenal no longer have a defensive weak point. Tomiyasu is now showing growth. There's only one thing that Arsenal fans are praying for now. That is fitness and availability. Because in terms of pure ability, Tomiyasu has everything. And talking of someone that has everything, let's talk the performance of William Saliba. A 6.6 rating, with a massive 6 clearances and 1 tackle, 5 out of 9 aerial duels, as well as 46 accurate passes. It's getting to the stage now where Saliba is boringly good. When you watch him play, he seems like a Champions League veteran. That's where Arsenal fans should be very excited. Just imagine as we get deeper into this competition, will Arsenal having Saliba and Gabriel are 2 defenders that can go toe to toe with anyone. These guys have no fear. Look at Erling Haaland as the prime example. It's all a part of Mikel Arteta's plan to build an Arsenal full of physical machines. And that's where you've got another example. We are talking Declan Rice with a 7.4 rating, with 1 assist and 37 accurate passes, 3 key passes, 3 successful dribbles, 5 ground duels won and 3 out of 3 in the air. What we are starting to see now is the reason why Mikel Arteta chased this guy so badly. Rice gives Arsenal an unfair advantage. We're focusing on his physicality, able to bully players off the ball like they're not even there, close down attackers and get Arsenal in a counter-attack. Then his game starts to elevate, the prime example being in the 68th minute. Arsenal under pressure, Rice starts to drive, bursting past player after player, dribbling like a prime Patrick Vieira. This is why he is so special as a player. When you compare him to the likes of Rodri, who may have the passing ability, but do you think he's got this same physical power to burst forwards? Moving on to the fourth thing, Odegaard's problem. There's something not right about the Arsenal captain. A 6.6 overall rating, taken off in the 73rd minute. 17 out of 18 passes, 0 key passes, with 1 shot on target and 2 shots blocked. Odegaard was completely nullified, and there's a reason behind this. Teams now understand how important Odegaard is to Arsenal, and that's why they're limiting space centrally, cutting off Odegaard's most dangerous area of the pitch. That's where Odegaard's being asked different questions and he doesn't quite have the answers yet. That's where I see a bit of a creative block. Odegaard looks lost of ideas, and more importantly no confidence. There's a reason why I think it's not working. I don't think Arsenal are playing to Odegaard's strengths, playing him way too high up the pitch. He's less able to be influential. Now Arsenal fans start to ask themselves the question, if the captain isn't performing, why is Mikel Arteta starting him? For me there's an obvious reason, it's the off the ball ability. Look at his off the ball numbers. Martin Odegaard has applied more pressures than any other player in the Premier League this season, 253 in total. He's also the only player to have made 100 plus in both the middle and attacking third of the pitch. Odegaard is Arteta's go-to player off the ball. He's the Arsenal press leader. The last 2 games though have been interesting. Taking off Odegaard in both games, replacing him with Kai Havertz, it shows that Arteta is willing to change. For Kai Havertz, this could be perfect. He's far more suited to the right hand side. The prime example is his days at Bayer Leverkusen. Look at his heat map from his best season. It is all on the right hand side. Playing Havertz in areas where he's more comfortable will get the best out of the player. It could also give Odegaard time to take a step back, reflect, recharge mentally and go again. It was only last year where he equalled a Premier League record of most non-penalty goals from midfielder alongside Kevin De Bruyne. Let's focus on Bukayo Saka's performance. With 1 successful dribble and 3 key passes, 8 out of 11 ground duels won. The stats may be effective, but there is a clear drop off. It feels as Saka's playing with a bit of an injury. This is where Mikel Arteta needs to offer Saka help, supplying with the profiles to maximise his strengths, because the magic is still there. Look for example his assist against Chelsea. When he's got the overlap of Ben White and the underlap of Kai Havertz, Saka is finally given space to make something happen, and Arsenal are able to equalise. Mikel Arteta also has another dilemma. Focus on the performance of David Raya in goal. With 1 save in total, 19 out of 33 passes completed and 5 out of 18 long balls. Let's just say there were quite a few shaky moments. The biggest one being the save right at the end, where he punched the ball over his net. Look at the reaction here of William Saliba. This guy's about to lose it. For Arsenal fans, it was a heart-in-mouth moment, but I have a different perspective. Even though Raya gets very lucky, we have to appreciate the fact that he's aggressive, throwing himself into the line of fire to make sure he gets contact. With many keepers to stay on the line, Raya was trying to be proactive. Look for example at the game against Chelsea. This time it's Arsenal crossing the ball into the box. Robert Sanchez in a similar position, stays on his line and lets the ball go through, and Trossard is able to score. David Raya has been far from perfect, but the reason why Mikel Arteta is starting him is down to principles. It's less about the mistake and more about if he's trying the right thing. Mikel Arteta has a clear idea for his goalkeeper. Even if Raya's execution isn't perfect, as long as he sticks to Arteta's principles, staying aggressive and being proactive. That is why he's starting over Aaron Ramsdale. Moving on to the 5th thing, group control. This was a gargantuan win for Arsenal, and there's a reason why. Arsenal have won a Champions League away game for the first time since December 2016, the last time being against Basel, with the likes of Lucas Perez scoring. Arsenal have now regained control. Look at the other game in Group B. Lens and PSV drawing 1-1. Arsenal have moved back into first place, 1 point clear of Lens, with Sevilla being next up, but this time at the Emirates Stadium. To go to a ground with European heritage, where so many teams have folded, Arsenal showed a surprising level of maturity. After Sevilla scored and the going got tough, the defence wasn't phased at all. The likes of Gabriels and Saliba only grew even stronger, with the elite defensive ability of Declan Rice in front. Arteta has created a team that is built for these moments. As a certain Michael Owen says, in the Champions League in terms of ability, I think they are the 2nd or 3rd best team in it. For Arsenal, it's all about building experience, learning how to cope in these tough European environments. It will be so important in the knockout stages. At the same ground, Sevilla were able to hold back a certain Real Madrid. Arsenal are now starting to build their name. More importantly, we have a point to prove. Look at Saka, Martinelli and Saliba. The way they have taken this competition by storm. It's them showing the entire world that we're built for this stage. But what about a certain Thomas Partey? Before the game, Arsenal confirmed that Partey was out with a muscle issue, and there has been some speculation to why. Here was Partey recently seen at the gender reveal for his baby, kicking the ball into the air. Some Arsenal fans think this is the reason why he's pulled a hamstring. In terms of Arteta, he says, unfortunately it's a muscle injury. We don't know the extent of it, but it's a big miss for us. The fact that we've not seen the Rice Odegaard Partey midfield, not since the Community Shield, yet Arsenal are still unbeaten in the league and have lost only 1 game in the Champions League. Arsenal still have levels to go up. Next up though is a game against Sheffield United, 20th place and coming to the Emirates Stadium. They have lost 8 games and drawn 1, winning 0 in total. And don't be surprised if Mikel Arteta experiments. If Odegaard is lacking ideas, it might be time to start Havertz. You've also got the left back conundrum, Tomiyasu Zinchenko, who will be more suited to the deep block against Sheffield United. That is the video there and there though, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed the return. Smash a like if you did and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Follow your boy on all of his social medias, the links are down below in the description. But that was the 5 things we learned from Sevilla 1, Arsenal 2, a massive victory. And now that your boy's back and mentally recharged, it's time to produce the best content for you guys to enjoy. I'll see you next time, take care, and no bits.